Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to a brand new Disney Plus spoiler review of the brand new Disney Plus Marvel Studios show, Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I'm so pumped to talk about this show. Before I get into my spoiler thoughts, remember, spoiler thoughts of episode 1 of this show. Please like this video. Please subscribe. Comment down below your spoiler thoughts of the episodes. Let me know your predictions for the next couple of weeks of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Please subscribe. We're almost at 100 subscribers. If you know people who like movie reviews, TV show reviews, and streaming platform reviews, and movie rankings, all of those things, please let them join the channel and to subscribe, join the channel, join the community. We're trying to build our movie reviewing community that's different from everyone else as well. So now let's get into my thoughts. So as I said, guys, before, I did have a lot of personal and computer problem issues last week that, caused some weird backgrounds. And I was going to do my review with my other computer, but I did find out yesterday that I could get it today. And here I am with the computer now talking Falcon and Winter Soldier with a good background. And I really enjoyed the show. This is an extremely solid opening episode to the show. Now, I don't think it's great, but I think it is a fascinating character dive. I think it's a thing that a lot of people have not thought about the show being, because, based on the trailers and really this opening action sequence with Sam, that it would be just a movie put into a TV show. I don't think we kind of felt like that with WandaVision. It very much felt like a TV show. And the first, I would say, 10 minutes of this show, of this episode, felt like a MCU movie, a sequel, a distant sequel to like Winter Soldier. If this show, what it absolutely nails is that it does absolutely feel like Captain America: The Winter Soldier. Not just that the fact that they brought Henry Jackman back to do the score, but the feeling, the mood of the situation, the fact of a lot of people are probably going to be turning on each other. The government is corrupting some of the Avengers. All that type of stuff feels like it is in the same universe as Captain America and Winter Soldier. Now, that for me is a huge thing because, again, just like a lot of people, it is one of my favorite. It's my second favorite MCU film. So I was very excited to feel that right away. So Sam basically carries the first 10 to 15 minutes of the episode, which I was a bit of a shock. Sam has this big action scene with that great action guy from The Winter Soldier. Had a great scene with Steve on the boat in the opening scene of Winter Soldier. Now in this show, he gets the fight scene, this time instead of on a ship, in the air, in helicopter and jumping out of planes, with Sam. That was executed very, very, very well. It's probably definitely by far the best action that Falcon has had in the MCU. I think a lot of people Falcon hasn't had a lot to do really since Civil War. Winter Soldier, that was probably the best he's been in movie form. He cameoed in Age of Ultron in that one party scene. He did have stuff to do in Civil War, but that was still more of a Steve Bucky storyline than a Steve and Sam storyline. And then he was obviously popping in both Infinity War and Endgame. But this is kind of his first real opportunity to be a main character since Winter Soldier. And I think he really does a great job. Anthony Mackie's great. And the action, as I said, is probably the best part of Falcon. And it's the best Falcon action we've gotten in the entire series. Then he has that conversation with that military guy. It definitely seems like the military is setting up Sam on a lot of occasions. The idea that Sam is... it feels like, he was working on his glider and he had something to say. He didn't want any of the government to even think about how to do it. The way him and his sister go after that bond in the later part of the episode. And the fact that obviously he gives the shield away. They say they're very grateful. They'll keep it in the museum. And then they just give it to the new character played by Wyatt Russell. So it kind of all set up for Sam. And that was kind of demonstrated by a really cool cameo by Rhodey, played by Don Cheadle, who he did confirm he was in the show. And based on the trailers, that scene where the military came into place, I was like, Rhodey will be there. First, really, one of the main scenes of the film, of the episode, Rhodey is in it having a really good conversation about Steve and the importance of continuing that mantle and how he knew. Basically, he had a gut feeling that something bad would happen if he turned it in. So he turns it in. Then we cut to a flashback to when Bucky was really the villain, the Winter Soldier, when he was corrupted by Hydra. He kills there's a really great action scene, and Henry Jackman, back from Winter Soldier, brings back that score from the Winter Soldier, which is one of my favorite themes in the MCU. I had chills watching not just the scene, but the music behind Bucky's theme was really great. And then he kills an innocent guy who was just trying to go to his door. We find out later that's the son of the old man that he keeps going to eat dinner with every other night. That type of stuff was really, really brilliant. And then we get a lot of Bucky. We have a therapy session where basically, again, what this main episode was is a character dive between Sam and Bucky, two characters that were dusted in Infinity War, were blipped for 5 years, and how does life change when they come back from that 5 years? It was very hinted at in Spider-Man Far From Home. They don't really dive deep into in that movie, even though Spider-Man does get blipped. We kind of just go back to normal really fast in Far From Home. And WandaVision, you can see how Wanda really took the blip, not because, and obviously she got blipped, but that really wasn't about the blip. Monica's storyline was more about the blip. It was Wanda and Vision storyline was back before the blip even happened in Infinity War. So this is kind of the first MCU project to actually dive headfirst into the blip and what is life after the blip from people who were blipped. And I thought that was exceptionally done with both characters, really with Bucky's character, who, he's 106 years old. He had peace in Wakanda, but basically his entire life, all 100 years of his life, he's just been known to fight. And the idea that he hasn't been fighting in a while. He had a great little funny scene where the therapist said, you got to do these 3 rules, and he barely did those rules. It was a really funny scene. And then you have Bucky and that old man. We have a big twist in this episode. They have a meal. He sets Bucky up with a date. And then we realize that, the old man, he has a son that died. And then the Winter Soldier music plays as we get the shot of the old man talking about his son, and we cut to Bucky, and that's when the Winter Soldier music came in. I was like, oh my God, is that the kid? Is that his kid that Bucky killed in the dream? And it was. And it made it a very heartbreaking and authentic relationship of why Bucky would want to amend a lot of his mistakes. He has a notebook checking off all the things that he wants fixed in his life. And obviously it's a lot because he's been alive for so long. He hasn't been texting Sam, what we were told in the opening therapy scene. And he has this date that is also very funny. And Bucky trying to get out there, and the irony that he's 106 years old. Again, another thing that was hinted at with Captain America's character, really in the Avengers film, the first Avengers film, where we're kind of getting hinted at that Captain America is kind of a step behind everyone else, because obviously that's around a year or two after the events of the first Avenger, Captain America, the first Avenger, not the Avengers. So, and it's very hinted at that he's kind of a step behind. But then once we go into Winter Soldier, he's basically back to normal. Bucky's been back to normal. We've seen him in Winter Soldier. We saw him in Civil War and Infinity War and Endgame. But this is the first time where he's kind of just settled down. He's not just fighting, and you get the ramifications of how long he's been alive for and how that has affected his life. Steve is no longer there. Probably his only family. And that's how Steve has been feeling. When Steve got out of the frozen ice, that's how he felt. His only family was Peggy and Bucky, and they were both gone to his knowledge. So all that stuff I think is added in really well. Then we got that new villain crew at the end of the episode with their attack in Switzerland, if I'm not mistaken. And they had one supernatural, seems like person, a super strong person. That was a nice scene. And it seems like they could be super serum. It's kind of my prediction on what Sam didn't want to explain on FaceTime what the people were, but it seemed like to me he was thinking of super serum, because super serum obviously is still out there. We learned in Civil War that it's out there. We did not get Zemo this episode. We did not get Peggy Carter's niece this episode. So again, those are also main characters that are going to be added into the show. And again, Sam did have that big subplot with his sister about selling the boat, selling his family, and a dynamic of not wanting to sell his boat for his family, but giving up the shield. Is there really a difference between those two things on what is heroic in Sam's life? And I thought the dynamic between that as well was very well done. So overall, guys, I really did enjoy this episode. I didn't love the episode. Once Sam kind of settled down, I was way more interested in Bucky than I was Sam, even though Sam had a authentic thing. The comedy was there, and the heartbreak of him killing the old man's son, all of that I thought made Bucky's way more interesting than Sam. But even those critiques there, these are two really good characters that are finally, just like Wanda and Vision, getting their own show to dive deep into their characters. And we end the episode with Wyatt Russell, the agent, putting on Captain America and becoming the new Captain America, with a wink to the camera to end the episode as Sam watches on. So it seems like next episode we should be getting Sam and Bucky teaming up. How will Zemo be incorporated into the story? Is he actually the main villain of this group? And how does Agent Carter also get involved? That's why you gotta let me know in the comments. Let's have a fun discussion in the comment section down below. Please like this video. Thank you. Every single Friday, guys, I'll be giving my spoiler reviews of the brand new episodes of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Before I go, guys, a busy couple of weeks here on the show. Of course, another Falcon Winter Soldier review on Friday and another movie review coming, but also because I did my Justice League non-spoiler review soon, either tomorrow or Monday, I'll be doing my spoiler review of Zack Snyder's Justice League. And then after that, whenever a day or two after that video, I'll be giving my ranking of all the DCEU films. So this is going to be the busiest week in a while. I know we just do Fridays, but this is going to be a busy week here on Max Talks Movies. So stay tuned. That's why you got to ring that bell to notified when these videos drop. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you guys in the next one.